The portfolio of government debt instruments held by foreign investors reached 20 billion lek in the middle of this year. According to data from the Bank of Albania, the value of investment by non-resident entities in the country's sovereign debt securities expanded by approximately 6 billion lek, or 43%, since the beginning of 2025. Foreign investors currently hold about 2.5% of the Albanian government's domestic debt stock, up from the 1.8% they held at the end of last year. These figures indicate that the role of non-resident investors in the domestic market for government securities is growing. It is estimated, however, that the growth in their investments occurred mainly in the first quarter of this year, while in the second quarter there was a significant slowdown due to the fall in yields. According to the Bank of Albania, the weighted average interest rate for short-term securities for the first 6 months of the year fell to 2.8% from 3% in the previous 6-month period and 3.5% a year ago. Due to their predominant weight, the trend of the average interest rate was determined by the rate for 12-month maturity securities, which fluctuated between 2.7% and 2.8% during the period. Despite the low interest rates, investor demand has been relatively high, and the government's short-term borrowing needs have been met in about 90% of cases. Meanwhile, the weighted average interest rate for long-term securities fell to 3.7%, from an average of 4.6% and 5.1% in the two previous 6-month periods. The participation of foreign investors in the market for the Albanian government's lek-denominated debt instruments began in 2024, with a focus mainly on investing in bonds. Although the investor profile is protected by confidentiality rules, sources for Monitor report that they are mainly institutional investors, hedge funds, who have decided for the first time to include the Albanian government's lek-denominated bonds in their portfolios. High investor interest in Albanian government securities has also been noted in Eurobond issuances in recent years. In February 2025, the Albanian state issued Eurobonds for a total value of 650 million euros, with a yield of 5%. The demand for the Albanian Eurobonds submitted by investors was very high, reaching a total of 3.7 billion euros.